Well, this is the umpty-11th time that I have tried recording this video. The project files for this video was created in April of 2013, and I have been trying to do this ever since. You see, in April of 2013, I had this brilliant idea that instead of talking about quitting smoking and whatnot, that I was just going to do it. And I would make this video along the way, recording my thoughts about various and sundry things as I did this. And the project has met with continual, constant, and regularly predictable failure ever since. I have deleted my video clips and source files so many times. I can't begin to tell you how many times that I have deleted and started over in the last 5 years. But I decided in all of this that I was not going to say anything to anyone about this until I am successful. And so if you're seeing this video on YouTube, then you know that I have succeeded in what I set out to do. And what I set out to do is to go 30 consecutive days smoke-free. Now, normally when I start recording clips for this video, I start on day 1. And that has proven to be most frustrating, annoying, and not very useful, because most of the time I don't make it past day 3. I decided to do it a little bit differently this time. This is the morning of day 6. This is Friday morning. The last time I had a cigarette was in the overnight between Saturday night and Sunday early pre-dawn morning. And so Sunday morning was the beginning of day 1. This is Friday morning. It is the beginning of day 6. Having made it to day 6, I've already done better than 95% of my previous attempts. So I figured this is a good time to start recording about this. And I can say one thing right off the get-go. I have heard it said in the past, I don't know how many times, by how many different people, that if you stop smoking long enough, you reach the point where you don't want them anymore. And what really annoys me is that not only have I seen this thing stated by former smokers, I have also seen it stated by non-smokers, as in people who have never been regular daily smokers. And let me put it just as bluntly as I can. If you are not and never have been a daily smoker, you do not talk to me about smoking or quitting smoking. You have no place to stand. You're not qualified. You've never been a daily smoker. Now, daily smokers making that particular claim, the claim that if you go long enough without it, you won't want it anymore. Pardon my French, but bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I don't believe that for 1 second. Because in the last several days, I have come to a realization. And I'm going to say this out here as being the absolute, undeniable truth. I will always want a cigarette. I started smoking when I was 18. I am 58 and a half years old. I want a cigarette the first thing in the morning, the last thing at night, and many, many times in between. That's just the way it is. I will always want a cigarette. The only thing that makes it possible for me to quit is somehow summoning the resolve and determination within myself, within the stubbornness of myself, to make the choice not to. It has nothing to do with reaching some imaginary point where I don't want to. That's an illusion. It doesn't exist, and it will not happen. I will always want a cigarette. The only thing that keeps me doing it, keeps me not smoking, is choosing not to smoke. For example, today I had to go to the store. It's the first time I've been out of the house since Sunday. And going to the store was very, very difficult. Because while I am very short on finances because this is the end of the month, the wrong end of the month, I still was thinking, well, you know, if I do this, that, and the other, I can manage to afford to buy a pack of cigarettes. And I was ready to do it. And it was only me talking myself out of it and making the decision, the very difficult decision, I might point out, to not buy another pack. Because if I have them in the house, I will smoke them. I guarantee you. There are none in the house right now. I've tried the taper off thing. That's crap. It doesn't work. I've tried the cold turkey thing, and most of the time that's crap. It doesn't work. You have to have a certain level of determination and stubborn engaged in order for it to work. And the only thing that got the stubborn engaged for me was to finally get mad enough at the fact that these things have been owning me for so long. No more. I'm going to make this 30 consecutive days without smoking. I'm going to get there. And after that, I may have a cigarette now and then. I'll tell you the honest to God truth. That's very possible. It's even probable. But what will not happen again after this is the things will not own me. So we'll see. I'm not going to make any other promises other than that, because that's just fantasy, reaching that far into the future and saying this or that will or will not happen. That's crap, and you know it. Okay, I was originally planning to make a clip every day during this process. I don't think that's actually going to happen. Instead, I'm going to make clips every 2 or 3 or 4 days, talking about whatever happens to be on my mind at the time that is relevant to the whole situation. And we'll see. Right now, let's just say it's a really good thing I live alone. Well, here we are. It's Friday again. Friday morning. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. And I know you're thinking, oh, what are you doing up at this hour? Well, I was sleeping in a uncomfortable position. Well, it wasn't when I went to sleep, but it was by the time I woke up, because of that thing where when I sleep I don't move at all. And so I woke up and my neck was hurting really, really bad. Still is. I can barely turn my head. But the whole point is, this is the morning of the 13th consecutive day smoke-free. I have kind of mixed feelings about that. On the one hand, I've never gotten this far in any of my previous quit from smoking attempts in the last 7 or 8 years. I have never gone 13 consecutive days smoke-free. I've never managed that. And so on the one hand, I should be kind of hyped and, you know, have a renewed sense of hope about getting through the 30 days and beyond and so on. I realize I should, but honestly, I don't that much. I mean, objectively speaking, yes, this means I'm probably going to be able to get through the whole thing, having gotten this far. But there's the other side of the coin. I said I had mixed feelings about it, and on the one hand, oh goody, never done this good, looks like I'm going to get all the way through it, yee-haw. On the other hand, I will put this as simply as possible. I am freaking miserable. I think I said something about this in the last clip last week, but I'll say it again anyway. I still want a cigarette. I will probably always want a cigarette. And it's just sheer stubborn that's keeping me from doing it. Because I want to finally get this thing made and actually get it released and actually have reason to do so because of actually getting to the point of being legitimately 30 days smoke-free. But right now I'm freaking miserable. I hurt in 18 different ways. Alright, I didn't count. I don't know if it's exactly 18, but I hurt in a lot of different ways. And painkiller isn't doing me much good. And I don't want to take that much painkiller anyway because I hate taking pills. And so I will just get through it the best I can. But yeah. The one thing that's helped is that I have been keeping busy. I've been playing a lot of a game, and I've been recording a lot of that game. And given the fact that I've got a good bunch of progress in recording, then more than likely by the time this video is published, you will already know about the fact that I've been recording Fallout 4. Yeah. You know, when I stopped making episodes in that in December 2015, the reason was mostly because I was having assorted issues at the time, hardware-related issues, if I remember correctly. And I always meant to get back to it. And for some reason that I'm not quite certain of, I didn't. But I was reminded of it recently. And I got to looking around and what I've done so far. I've rewatched my episodes, my 17 episodes that I did do. I rewatched them. And I decided I wanted to go and start recording again. And since I didn't particularly want to start over, gee, big surprise, I'm continuing the save that I had going back then. A little bit of background, just for giggles, because why not? This is my video, I'll talk about anything I want. Even if it's not relevant to quitting smoking. Well, actually it is, because this is one of the things I've been doing a lot of to keep myself from doing it. From doing the smoking. From saying F this and going to the store and buying a carton. But a little bit of background with me and Fallout 4. In the summer of 2015, in particular when the videos hit YouTube that came from the E3 presentation back then that Bethesda did about Fallout 4. It was a huge presentation. It was beautifully done, and everybody was just raving over it. And I watched that, and it's like, I gotta have this. And I decided, looking at that footage, that I was going to have it. That I was going to save my money, and I was going to get it at some point or another. And then something unexpected came about. A payment that I was due came in unexpectedly. I didn't realize it was time for it, and it actually came in. And I was doing sort of kind of okay-ish at the time financially. And so I did something I had never done before or since. I bought a AAA title. And not only did I buy a AAA title, but I pre-ordered it. I had that thing paid for and locked in place 3 or 4 months before it was released. And on release day, like everybody else, I started downloading. Unlike everybody else, it took most of that day. It was into the second day before I was able to start recording anything with it. And let me tell you how that drove me nuts. This is like a 25 or 30 gigabyte download, and given my internet, that took all frickin' day. But once it was here, I was all over that thing. One of the things that I noticed early on about Fallout is that, and even during the E3 presentation, is that there's some things about it that had a striking similarity to Skyrim. For me, this is a good point. And so it was some pretty serious issues and stuff that what it took to get me off of it. And then, like I said, I'm not entirely sure how it is I managed to stay away from it for as long as I had. I seriously regret that. But I'm way back at it. I have been playing a lot of Fallout during this time, and having a lot of fun with it, recording a bunch of it. I decided that I was going to record 20 episodes before I released any of them. That the episodes were going to go up, at least the plan initially was that they would go up once a week, and that I was going to record 20 of them ahead of time. I like having something that I can just start an upload on, and when the upload finishes, arrange to have the video release automatically scheduled ahead of time the next morning. That's great. It's fantastic. I mean, I'm doing that with Skyrim and the single-player Minecraft world. And I'm going to be doing it with Fallout 4. Yeah. And here recently, during this project, I did something else. So one of the things that I do, financially speaking, is a couple of dollars here, $3 or $4 there, a $5 bill there, and so on, squirreling it away. Because there's always a time coming up when either I will need money for something right away, seriously major need, or it will be a case of such and such that I just plain want. And I'm tired of not having things that I want, so I'm doing this thing where I try to save up to get things that I want. You know, if I don't actually need it for something that is a gotta have right away, then I get myself a want once in a while. And I got myself a want while recording these episodes of Fallout way ahead of time. I got the DLC. All of it. Yeah. And yes, Fallout is in fact the first AAA title that I've bought myself. And somebody will say, but you got Skyrim, that's a AAA title. Yes, you're right, it is. But Skyrim is not something I bought. It was a gift. It was a birthday present, as a matter of fact. And so, yeah. Fallout, I did myself. And it's the first major thing like that I've done. And I really wish that I had kept going with the recording. And it's right now doing that recording in this thing. Well, let me put it this way. This thing, getting started recording Fallout, I started doing that between the last clip and this one. And in that time, so far, I've got 10 episodes recorded for the series. And I also have another save that I started just simply for farting around. For taking my sweet time and going slow, and even slower than I do in the LP, and just, you know, having some fun with it, doing what I want to do, and to heck with anything else. So that's what's getting me through this thing right now so far, is all this time I'm spending doing the Fallout stuff. And once I've got 20 episodes ahead of time, I may see if I can build up 20 episodes of Skyrim. And then there is a third title that I am currently not making videos on, that I'm going to see if I can get 20 episodes of that going. And the long and the short of it is I'm going to have a whole boatload of stuff recorded ahead of time. That sounds pretty good to me. And it will keep me busy doing things I enjoy doing, which will help keep me away from saying, F you, I'm going to go get smokes. And I just realized that I've been blathering for 15 minutes in this clip. And no, I'm not going to cut any of it. I'm just going to leave it. And this is going to end up probably being a long-ish video. And for those that don't like long videos, sorry, this one is kind of an exception, and it needs to be whatever it turns out to be. And I think it's time to shut up now, because now I'm into 16 minutes. Well, a lot of time has passed since that last clip. A lot more than I had anticipated or wanted. But it's not that I didn't record anything since then. Actually, I did record quite a bit. However, in reviewing the footage that I had, getting ready to do this final bit of editing, putting everything together, I came to the conclusion that I cannot use that footage. Suffice it to say that at the time of recording I had some severely bad attitude, and that necessitated the deleting of that footage. Trust me, we're both glad that that happened. Anyway, as it turns out, along the way, sometime after that last clip, I got to thinking about things, and I decided to stretch my 30-day goal. To stretch it out. And just arbitrarily, I picked the date of my next upcoming doctor's appointment as a date to stretch to. And reaching that date would make for 52, that's 52 consecutive smoke-free days. Well, I'm sitting here having accomplished that. That's right. I have achieved 52 consecutive days smoke-free. Where I'm going to go from there is anyone's guess. Because right now, as far as I'm concerned, at this particular moment, sitting here recording this, that's up in the air. I don't know yet. I can tell you this, however, that my days as a full-on 3 packs a day hardcore daily smoker are over. I don't do that anymore. One of the things that I noticed early-ish on that I liked, and this is one of the things that helped me keep going with this, was that the smoker's cough cleared up. That god-awful, hideous cough, where I wake up in the morning and I spend the first 20 or 30 minutes coughing and hacking and puking and blech and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's gone. And I want to keep it gone because I hated that cough. So, there is that. I'm not going to say that I will never smoke another cigarette because that would be a lie. It's going to happen occasionally, but I'm not going to go full-on crazy person like I was. I never thought originally that I was going to make it this far, and even when I decided to stretch the goal, I didn't realize or think that I would actually make it. But I'm sitting here having done that, and yeah, that's cool. Like I said, I don't know where I'm going to go from here, and this video would probably be somewhat longer, by 10 or 15 minutes, if I had either kept the footage that I got rid of, or if I had replaced it with somewhat more family-friendly version of what I had recorded originally. What can I say? Like I said, my attitude was really in the toilet there for quite a long time. And it's not exactly really great right now. It isn't. But let's just say I have retained enough or regained enough self-control to not let it leak into the video quite as badly as it did the last time that I recorded some stuff. the last several times actually. Anyway, yeah. I got there. 52 consecutive days. That is a stretch of time that I have not done. I haven't gone 52 consecutive days without smoking since I started 40 years ago. Yeah. So just getting to that is one heck of an achievement right there. And I wish that I had more footage along the way. I really did want to have a clip every 3 or 4 days or something like that, you know, like a minute or so, or a minute or 2 minutes talking about whatever along the way. But it didn't work out, and there was a bunch of footage, but it just, no, I would not upload that. No. A lot of other people would. I know that. But I'm not a lot of other people. I'm me. Anyway, I feel like I've been talking for about 5 minutes too much in this clip, and it's only 7 minutes long. Yeah. In any event, we'll see where I go from here. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.